Hey folks, back with another video. Let's dive into what stories got my attention today. Lebanon is slowly descending into a military dictatorship. The Lebanese parliament voted on an emergency declaration which gives the army broad powers. The army now has power to curb the rights of the Lebanese people. Now, under the emergency declaration, the free speech, freedom of assembly, and freedom of the press can be effectively suspended by the army, and the army can enter into any home and arrest anyone. And not only that, the military courts will effectively replace the judicial court. Well, with this new move by the parliament, Lebanon's future looks bleak. Moving on, Birther Movement 2.0 has started as President Donald Trump tries to cast doubt on Kamala Harris's US citizenship. Now, Trump has a habit of hitting his opponents from the least likely of direction. Trump makes assertion and then can turn around and say the exact opposite, just like in the case of former President Barack Obama. But one must keep in mind that the media has published articles to counter Trump's claim, which I think are commendable. It is the job of the media to correct the records and do everything in its power to make sure that the people know the facts. But I suspect that Trump will most likely come up with another outrageous assertion if this assertion does not stick. Moving on, the United States Department of Justice has been collecting data on Yale's undergraduate admissions, and based on this data makes a claim that the Yale University is discriminating against Asian Americans and white applicants. The DOJ threatened to sue Yale if it does not stop the practice by the end of the month. I would like to say that I agree that there is no such thing as a nice form of discrimination based on race. While Yale denies any claims of discrimination, one must keep in mind that all this seems likely it has to do with the coming election. And I'm sure there is going to be more universities and colleges that the Department of Justice will target and pursue. Moving on, Israel and the United Arab Emirates will hold, basically, they've established a diplomatic relations, while Israel promises that it will hold off on the US backed annexation of parts of Palestine. And now it seems that the United Arab Emirates and Israel have both come to a formal agreement based on the fears of the Iranian threat. While the two countries were already getting closer, but I think that Turkey's recent move seems to have pushed Israel and the United Arab Emirates to go this far. Now, this is going to change the balance of power in the region. Now, depending on the reaction of the people, the Saudi government might also open up its diplomatic ties with Israel. Time will tell what happens. And finally, Washington and Beijing are going to hold talks, and it seems that Washington rejects Beijing's call for having a wider discussion during the weekend talks on trade. Now, the talks are going to be held on a video conference, It seems that the wonderful technology is going to be utilized for this meeting. While the relations between the two countries have gone down, but I think the timing of these talks has to be kept in mind. As the US election comes near, I think the US politicians may not have the right frame to deal with the foreign relation. It seems that all the maneuverings that the United States officials will be doing is going to be to seem tough on China in order to win the coming election. Well, that's it for this video. If you liked the video, then hit that like button and hit that subscribe button for future updates. I will see you in the next video.